All praises and all glory to the Most High. This is Yad. I'm making another video. It's very likely going to be a short video. The first one I made was about substance abuse. You can watch it on YouTube. It's a long video, so I'm likely going to split it up into 2 or 3 parts, so thereabout. Make it easier for you guys to watch. So this video is about smoking. As I mentioned in the previous video, I used to smoke as well. Smoking for me was an activity. It's something that you just do it and you hang with people who people who you care about. Sometimes it's also a very good way to meet new people, make new friends. If you go out, it's easy for you to just chill. I'm not telling you from my own perspective, because that's what smoking was for me. It's different things for different people. Everyone is built differently as God has built us. I stopped smoking and I haven't really looked back. And I believe, anything that you were not born with, you don't really need. I explained this in the previous video as well, but basically, when you were born, you had food, water, and shelter and clothing from your mom. And that's pretty much all you need in this world. You don't need anything else in your system. You don't need any other substances in your system, to live the life that you live. And smoking is something that it's a personal thing, like with everything in this world. It's a decision that you've made, and it's a decision that you cannot make, because then prior to smoking, there was a time that you lived a life you were not smoking. In the same vein, by God's mercy, you can also stop smoking too, because you lived a perfectly normal life without smoking. And sometimes you need to think back on that life that you had where you weren't smoking and you were fulfilled. So why would you suddenly think now that you need to keep smoking for you to live a fulfilling life, or for you to enjoy yourself? Granted, you might not be going out as much, so on and so forth, but maybe that's the lifestyle choice you need to make, because smoking can devolve to other things for other people. It wasn't the case for me, thank God. Well, I guess some people who from smoking, they go to taking drugs and taking alcohol and other things. So a lot of these things go hand in hand. Like some people, they can't drink without smoking because the smoke helps them to manage their sobriety, I think. I don't know, people excuse me, people make up all kinds of excuses to do things, but in my own case, I didn't make an excuse. I'll tell you right now, I enjoyed smoking. I enjoyed how the smoke looked like when it came out from my mouth, and so on and so forth. I enjoyed just that experience. But when you have to keep going out, leaving your work, leaving the comfort of your home to go outside to have a cigarette, and you start to realize that you have to have the cigarette in the rain, you have to have the cigarette in the snow, you have to have the cigarette at all excuse my French, all freaking times. It's in my own opinion, it's horrible. Now sometimes you have to smoke around people you not necessarily want to smoke around, just because you have to have your hit for that day. You have to have a hit for that hour. And it has to get to the point where you have to increase the frequency of your smoking and the number of sticks you smoke per stick. So each sitting, you have some people that smoke one stick in maybe 4 to 6 hours, and all of a sudden they have to smoke 1 stick in every 3 hours. And all of a sudden you smoke 2 sticks every 3 hours. All of a sudden you smoke 1 stick every hour. All of a sudden you smoke 2 sticks every 1.5 hours. It just keeps increasing. You just find your usage increasing. Also, it's also a big hit on your. If you think about it, even if it's not really a big consideration for smokers, because it's your habit. You spend what you need to spend. You're not too concerned. Even though there are people, I'm sure, who have literally stopped smoking because of the amount of money they spend. But when you like something, you basically bring the money for it. That's how it works in this world. When you like something, you bring money for it. No questions asked. So I'm just going by that perspective. Like, the money is not too much of a concern. But if you think about it, if you start to think about it, you spend quite a bit of money smoking. A bit of money goes into it. You might try to cut corners by buying tobacco, and roll-ups and stuff, but altogether, all these things cost money. You may try to control yourself smoking, but what's the point of smoking if you don't go all out, right? That's what some people say, that if you're smoking, you smoke well. Even though I, for one, I never really inhaled when I smoked. So it never went into my lungs like that. But every now and then it did or whatnot, but I always try to not smoke into my lungs. The people who tell me, oh, did you not enjoy the experience if you don't really go into your lungs and stuff, but it's just really something that, is continuous, and it just goes on, and it doesn't seem to stop, and you just keep smoking, and before you know it, now a decade has passed. Before you know it, now 2 decades has passed, and you're still smoking, and you start to realize that maybe things are happening that normally wouldn't happen. You start to get breathless, start to get tired, even though that didn't happen to me though, but you start to, have all these things happening to you, and to an extent, you have to ask yourself certain things that happened to you. Did this sort of facilitate it as well? Did this sort of lead to it? Did it aid it? Did smoking make my situation worse? And also, how do you concentrate on things if you're constantly moving around? You always have to go for a smoke. If you're working on something, before you know it, I need a smoke. You might have an emergency you're working on, and you have to leave to have a cigarette, which is kind of crazy, You suddenly have a fix to have a cigarette, and you have to rely on this stick of tobacco to live a fulfilling life, in your own opinion. 'Cause that's what it is. You wouldn't be taking something if you didn't feel that you needed it. But that's the thing. For me though, you have to take away the whole activity aspect of things. So it's not like I replaced even what I used to do with something else. I used to go out every hour, and that in some weird way, it's actually cool that you go out every hour. If you say you're the kind of person who works behind a PC for hours in a day, going out every hour actually helps you. So how do you replace that if you stop smoking? Some people want to go out, every hour and just walk around and stuff like that. For me, I just sit at my desk, because I'm the kind of guy who can sit at my desk for hours on end. I'm just that kind of guy. I don't need to go out unless I have to. But everyone is different. So in my own case, I didn't need to have a replacement thing I needed to be doing when I wasn't smoking as an activity, because it's an activity. That's how I saw it anyway. If you go out, it's something that you can do with people who you're just meeting. It's kind of exciting meeting new people, and you're using smoking as a way to talk to new people and stuff. And it's exciting, but at the end of the day, the people that you have, are they really your friends because of smoking? Are there people who you can call at any point in time at 3 a.m. in the morning and say, dude, I have this problem, can you help me with this? Are those the kind of people you can gain from smoking? No. And if you do, then you're a very fortunate person. But honestly, smoking is something that is personal. For me, it was an activity, and I realized it's an activity I could do very well without, as God put in my heart to. For me, God gave me a time frame when I would stop smoking, and when that time frame came, I didn't feel the need to smoke anymore. I stopped, and that 1 minute led to 1 hour. That 1 hour led to half a day. That half a day led to 1 day. That 1 day led to 2 days. That 2 days led to 1 week. That 1 week led to 1 month. That 1 month led to 1 year. And now it's been over 2 years now I've stopped smoking. So I've been smoking for over 10 years. And while I enjoyed the experience, I knew that at some point it will have to stop, because as you say, things are changing in my life, and I'm becoming more responsible. Then I have to do things differently. You can't keep doing things the same way and expect a different result. And it's not so much, you're not doing it based on what someone has told you or someone has threatened you or this. No, you have to do it as God put it in your heart to do it, for Him. If you do it for Him, you're doing it for yourself. This is me speaking for myself. I can't speak for you. But you're doing for God, doing everything you do for God, you're the one who benefits of it. So God put it in my heart to stop smoking. I stopped smoking, and I haven't looked back. I don't have any regrets stopping smoking. I don't desire it. I don't crave it. It's not something I look forward to. I used to even vape, like half a year or thereabout before I stopped smoking. But I don't. And vaping is harmless, but to a good extent it's harmless. But I don't even have the desire to vape anymore. So it's as you can tell from what I'm telling you, I'm not going to sit here and be judgmental to anybody who's smoking. All I'm just saying is that anything that you were not really born with, you don't really need. And when it comes to things like this, you just stay away from those things that they're not really add anything to you. Instead, they remove something for you. Anything that doesn't really add anything to you but remove something for you is something you should stay well away from. And you're not doing it for people. In my own case, I did it. God put in my heart to do it, and that's what you should do. Leave off smoking, and focus on other things that you need to do for yourself. We all have talents God has given us, and God wants us to express in Him. And there's so many other things for us to focus on that we don't need to smoking to make our lives more fulfilling, unless there's a hole in our life that needs to be filled, and smoking can never fill that hole. Even if you had the ability to smoke for 24 hours, it would never be enough. It's never enough. That's what you realize with substance. So any kind of substance abuse is never enough to smoke for X amount of time, because it never gets to the point where you're like, oh, I'm done, and oh, it's enough, and oh, I'm really, really satisfied right now. I'm not going to have to smoke again for the rest of my life. No, it doesn't work like that. Once you smoke once, you have to go back to it, and you have to go back to it, and you have to go back to it, because it's an addiction. In my own case, I wasn't addicted to smoking, but it can be an addiction, and it's something that you feel that you have to, you have to do, and you don't have to do it. You don't have to keep smoking. The same way that you were living your life fulfilled, you can live your life again without smoking. Just leave off it, move on and do other things. To God be the praise, to God be the glory.